everybody. Welcome to B.O. Boys for Tuesday, April 1st. Fuck it, it's a raw feed, not an April Fool's joke. I'm Clayton.
Okay.
We're doing it live in studio.
I'm Pat. All right, so
I didn't fuck
April
up.
Fools,
I did it on purpose.
You did it on purpose. You did everything in reverse. You did fool me because I thought you were completely lost on the intro. Well, people are probably listening to this and they're confused because they're like, the B.O. Boys on a Tuesday, is this an early weekend preview? It is not. The weekend preview is coming on the podcast feed tomorrow with Danny. Of course, I Screen, You Scream 4, number 4 movies. We'll be talking about Minecraft. This episode, though, Clayton, this is a web exclusive. This is video only for the B.O. Boys YouTube network because we have got a lot of news we have to talk about. We just couldn't wait. We had to get into studio. We got to talk CinemaCon. Clayton, next year, we've got to go.
We've got to go.
Jeff Bach, Exhibit Relations Co., he's out there. He's breathing in all the hype that they push into the van.
He's hyped up, hopefully grabbing some presents for the B.O. Boys.
He's got, last year he pulled that's where he got Reagan 2024 hats for the B.O. Boys that you proudly wear all the time out in the streets.
Not anymore. There was a point where I didn't, and I didn't. But
you
I still love the hat. And I put it in one of those cubes that you get for footballs that are signed or baseballs that are signed or Wheaties boxes that you love. So I got one of those, an acrylic box to put it in.
Wow. Yeah. So a display so that you could display your Reagan 2024 hat from CinemaCon. I keep mine in a tabernacle.
Yes.
I keep all gifts from Jeff Bach, swag that he gets from CinemaCon. I just keep it in a locked tabernacle.
That's smart.
So he's out there now. We've got to go next year, but we are going to talk about some of the news that we're hearing from CinemaCon. It's all week. So far, it seems like Sony and Lionsgate are the first two. So I guess CinemaCon builds up as it goes along. Although Sony's a big one. Then Tuesday, Lionsgate is a little bit of a downgrade. Though I guess
that's a pee break.
Tonight will probably be more studios. It can't just be a full day of CinemaCon. It's just Lionsgate. Could it?
Well, with the amount of movies Lionsgate puts out, it could be a whole week of just going up there and listing movies. But I don't think that's entertaining at all.
Yeah.
So I do think, this isn't going to be a full day of Lionsgate. I wouldn't think.
Okay, so let's go through. What's a piece of news that really piqued your interest right away that you want to jump into?
Well, the first bingeable theatrical experience we're ever going to experience won't be till 2028.
It's April 2028.
So let me do it.
Okay.
3 years from now.
Yeah.
We'll have 4 Beatles movies.
Yeah.
Released not on the same day. That was the buzz, but I think it's going to be every week.
Every week, 4 weeks in a row, we're gonna have Beatles movies.
Or is it the one day? Because when he says it's bingeable, bingeable is dropping everything at once. So are we gonna have people? Who's gonna see the Ringo movie first? That's my question.
Well, I feel like it's got to be every week because we don't have enough screens. For one studio to release 4 movies on the same day and expect everyone to go see all 4 of them opening weekend. So this is Sony with the 4 Sam Mendes Beatles movies, where each Beatles movie focuses on a different Beatle.
Yeah.
And we're not getting a 5th one for the Beatle who they kicked out before they got famous.
Pete Best.
Yeah, we're not getting the Pete Best
That's the prequel that we get when these are huge.
Yeah. That's what they have that in their back pocket.
Yeah.
Is you could always make the Pete Best movie.
Mm-hmm.
So 4 Beatles movies, I got to assume it's 4 weeks in a row. I don't think it's all on the same day. It makes sense
because a month usually has 4 Fridays.
Yeah.
And that would make the most sense. And then you think which one's the end game? I know we keep using that as but it is. Is it Paul or John?
I think it'll possibly be determined by who's alive come April 2028.
Oh, you mean of the Beatles, not the people cast as the Beatles?
Yes. Hopefully hopefully everyone's alive
Hopefully all the Beatles fans are alive. I mean, that's also been speculation, is that 3 years from now is an eternity for baby boomers.
Yes.
Which is going to be the main target for this. And I know Beatles are like Mario. They span decades and generations. But I think the people that you're going to get that don't ever go to the movies are going to go see a Beatles movie.
Are they going to see 4 weeks in a row?
I think so.
Yeah.
Because we can't. I love the Beatles. I think the Beatles are great. They're transcendent, obviously. But we cannot culturally escape them, because the generation, the boomers, who, made love free and then sold it to us.
Yes.
As I famously said.
Yeah.
Look that up. No one else has said that but me. You won't find it on Google because I'm the only one who said that.
It's a Clayton original. We've got to monetize that. It's one of the great phrases I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Is they made love free and sold it to us.
No one believes it was I came up with that.
Yeah.
It came out of this brain, but it did.
Yeah. People all think Abe Lincoln said it.
They think
because those are the memes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they love the Beatles so much they won't let us forget it.
Right.
That they're the best band ever. So this could be the last movie a lot of baby boomers ever see. That's the other thing, and I think that's a good way to this is the definitive movie of the Beatles, but the definitive movie of your life, because you are close to death.
Yeah, this is your final month, April 2028, 4 Beatles movies, and then move on for good.
Yeah.
But also the boomers don't retire, so they're barely struggling to stay alive, but also they are the CEOs of every single company in the world.
Yeah.
So separate issue. This Beatles movie, 4 movies, bingeable. They're not the first, though, because look at what we're in the middle of right now. These Chosen movies are setting the template for the release of these 4 Sam Mendes Beatles movies. And I didn't hear anything at CinemaCon where Sam Mendes or the actors Paul Mescal, Barry Keoghan, they did not invoke...
I thought you were going to impress me and name the 2 that nobody remembers.
I'm not going to remember. Who were those other 2? Write us, theboboyspodcast@gmail.com, if without looking it up, you are able to name the other 2 actors playing Beatles who are not Barry Keoghan and Paul Mescal.
And it's not...
Oh, no, well, Harris Dickinson. Dickinson, I know him. He's Baby Girl.
Okay.
And he was in the Iron Claw movie. There's one guy, though, that no one at this point gives a shit about, but 3 years from now, that other guy could be the biggest star in the world.
Or
it's so long from now.
He could be no one.
He could be well, they're going to be filming these 4 actors.
Yeah.
Paul Mescal, Barry Keoghan, Harris Dickinson, and the other guy are going to be filming these Beatles movies for the next 3 years, because there are 4 movies that all 4 of them are in.
Yeah.
I'm excited about this. I love and I'm not a Sam Mendes guy, but I did love Empire of Light, of course, his best film. But I'm not excited about him doing it, but I love the wackiness of 4 Beatles movies coming out 4 weeks in a row.
Well, here's the thing, and it sounds like we're being negative about this, and I don't want people to think that we're being negative about this.
This is, I think, the best CinemaCon news we've gotten. Yeah.
We're thinking logistically, but we need these sort of experiences at the theater. That's what we need. We need something like this that is sort of nutty.
Yes.
We need that.
Yeah.
Because when it's the same old, or stuff that nobody wants to see, that's just clogging up the theaters. That's bad.
Yeah.
But when you are able to have 4 must-see movies that come out in the same month, driving people who don't normally go to the movies to the theater, that's great.
Yeah.
That's an event. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Now,
it's going to give us so much to talk about. I mean, this is just months of B.O. Boys conversation leading up to this. So great for us. Great. It fills all these drive time hours that we have to fill.
Which, I mean, you're going to see all 4 of these?
Yes.
Okay.
100%. I will see all 4 of these 4 weeks in a row in the movie theater.
Yeah.
I will be there. So that's big news coming out of CinemaCon, that this is happening. In terms of musician biopics, something that we didn't hear anything about at CinemaCon, because this is a Sony movie, is there was no presentation at CinemaCon for the Michael Jackson biopic, which is scheduled to come out, what is it, April 2nd of this year? October 2nd of this year. And that is a very conspicuous by its absence situation. The supposed to be a huge, huge movie.
Yeah.
And does this make you think that this movie will actually not be coming out in October of 2025?
Yeah, absolutely not. Because, I mean, I don't know if we mentioned it on the show, but it definitely is out there.
This is Antoine Fuqua directing.
And then one of Jackson's nephews is playing him.
Okay.
But the big story was third act problems, third act issues. And the issue with the third act is that it all circles around the trial.
Right.
And in this movie, he didn't do it, and they were coming after him.
Yeah.
Problem is
the accusers, victims, whatever.
Yeah. And so that's the take of the movie.
Right.
And that was going to be the triumphant finale of this movie.
Right.
Is that he didn't go to jail.
Right.
And what happened was the initial first accuser, because there's been multiple.
Yeah.
In some sort of contract when he settled this situation, there was no ability to depict this case or the people involved in this case in any way such as a biopic.
Right.
That's what I got from the information. Obviously, email us if I'm incorrect, but that's the gist of it, is that they shot a whole third act about a situation that they did not have the rights to do.
Yes. They base it around a character who they cannot depict on film, which they did not realize until after they had shot and edited the entire movie.
Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't happen much in the history of movies, where you film and you shoot an entire big budget movie and then realize you do not actually have the rights to show the stuff that you shot.
Yes.
Happens on YouTube videos all the time.
All the time. They get pulled because, we use this song.
Yeah. That happens on YouTube videos. It doesn't often happen on huge studio movies, but it seems like it's happened here with the Michael Jackson
Would it have gotten a takedown notice? Do you think that if this movie started opening night premiere and then all of a sudden you try to go to the theater and it says this movie was removed from the screen due to a takedown notice from person, which we won't.
Yeah, because we know we don't have the rights to say the name of this person, but we know that ahead of time.
We knew that ahead of time.
Yeah.
We did our due diligence.
Yeah, Antoine Fuqua and was it Sony, the producers of this movie, they did not do their due diligence. They got a third-party copyright takedown claim on their movie, on the third act of their movie.
Yes.
So I think that's the biggest mention at CinemaCon is the fact that movie did not get any kind of call out. If it was coming out, it definitely would have been featured by now.
And
so that's going to be, if that happens, that's a huge hole in just the theatrical schedule in October, because we were all figuring that's a giant movie. That's
earmarked for success, because I feel, obviously put aside anything else, the music.
Yeah, it's Beat It, it's Billie Jean, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, it's Leave Me Alone.
Yeah, so that's going to be huge. Does Taylor Swift come to the rescue again and put out another theatrical movie to save theaters like she did 2 years ago in October?
Well, what I would say is, just in case, I think that parents should buy winter jackets for their kids now.
Okay.
In case Taylor Swift does do this and then does not give parents the ability to purchase the movie and has to have the kids rent it over and over and over and over again to the point where they cannot afford winter jackets.
Oh my
This
Lord.
is something that actually happened. You can Google this.
You can definitely Google whatever it was that Clayton just said, and it'll definitely make sense after a Google. So one other thing from CinemaCon that Spider-Man did announce was
you mean Sony announced?
That Sony announced is Spider-Man is happening. Spider-Man 4 from this current Tom Holland series of 4 movies.
Yeah.
And this will be the first Sony Tom Holland Spider-Man that will not have home in the title, because they have announced that the title is called Spider-Man: Brand New Day, and it will be coming out July 31st, 2026. So, brand new day. What's your first thought on Sony finally announcing this? There will be a Tom Holland Spider-Man in theaters.
Listen, superhero fatigue is real, but the marquee characters do business.
Yeah.
And Spidey is up there.
Spidey
has had so many different people play him.
Mm-hmm.
He will continue after Holland moves on to bigger things, maybe, or retires like he said he's going to retire and raise Zendaya's children.
Oh, is that what he's been threatening?
He said that he's like, there's a point where I might just want to be a stay-at-home dad, and good for him. And so that's a possibility, but there will be Spideys until the day we die.
Yes.
And so
hundreds of years from now.
This is great. This is great for Sony because God, they just had those stinker after stinker after stinker with movies related to Spidey.
Mm-hmm.
Now they get the genuine article to come and save everybody.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's going to be huge. Is there anything that you're a comic book guy. Is there anything that they have in their back
pocket?
When I was
a child, when you're supposed to like comic books, I liked.
What could be the Spider-Man, extra that they could get into this fourth movie? Venom as a movie series has ended. Is this time to maybe get Venom into just the Sony Spider-Man proper movies?
Listen, if you could do that, yeah, I think that's huge because those movies were big individually.
Yeah.
And then if you combine it, that's, we're talking a collab.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Where you had Deadpool and Wolverine, which was not officially a collab because they did not use the X, even though the X is for X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't do it, and they were stupid. That movie would have made another $100 million if it was a collab. Yeah, the Venom thing would be big, but if it's called Brand New Day, that doesn't really make it seem like it's gonna be Venom based. But
no, yeah, but they got away from the home thing, so
yeah,
that had to be done.
Mm-hmm.
So some other news I'm seeing here at CinemaCon is, let's see, Dwayne Johnson performing with dancers for Moana 2. Is this last year's CinemaCon I'm looking at? Yes, that is what I'm looking at there. It has to be because Moana 2 came out and was a huge hit. So. Anything else from Sony here? It looks like Zach Kreger is going to be directing a Resident Evil movie. Do you think the Paul W.S. Anderson fans are going to hold that against the series, that it's not him anymore? I mean, I guess he'd pass it off before. Zach Kreger should be a palatable choice for the Resident Evil superfans.
I would think so. I would hope so.
Yeah.
I would hope so. I mean, if they've seen any of his past work.
Yeah. Karate Kid Legends got an extended look. Have you seen the trailer for Karate Kid Legends yet?
Yeah, there was a teaser. Is there a longer trailer?
It looks like there's a longer trailer for it.
Has it dropped online?
I don't know if it's dropped online yet, but I saw the trailer for this for the first time last weekend when I went with a Compact Critic to see Death of a Unicorn. I'm curious about what this Karate Kid Legends is going to do.
What was the reaction of the crowd?
I mean, it's hard to tell because it was such a muted crowd knowing they were all about to see Death of a Unicorn. Mm-hmm. Though that audience, the Friendship trailer, the Paul Rudd, Tim Robinson trailer, that killed. We'll see how that movie does. I'm looking forward to it. But Karate Kid Legends, it's so interesting because that Karate Kid movie they did with Jackie Chan and Will Smith's son, Jaden Smith, mm-hmm. was a huge hit when it came out and then never got a follow-up. And then you had the YouTube Red Karate Kid series. Cobra Kai, which has been really popular. And Ralph Macchio is in that, and now he's in this movie. But I still feel like, is this going to cross over to another theatrical release? You're the Cobra Kai guy, along with being the comic book guy. What do you feel about this Karate Kid movie coming out this summer?
So the curious thing about it is Cobra Kai created this whole world
mm-hmm.
onto itself that continued the original films.
Right.
This, I don't know where it fits in necessarily in I don't think it has anything to do with that.
I don't think so.
Then,
but Macchio's in it.
Is it just an alternative timeline? And then when that happens, all the fans of Cobra Kai, are they going to be confused? Will they care? Will they go? Because they've had so many seasons of Cobra Kai.
Right.
That I think you've been Karate Kidded out at this point.
So in this CinemaCon article, the events of the forthcoming Legends flick will take place 3 years following the conclusion of TV drama Cobra Kai featuring Macchio. So this is not a multiverse situation.
Good.
It is the Legends is in the same universe as the Cobra Kai show, but it's years later. And has the Cobra Kai show had its conclusion yet?
Yes.
It has.
It had its last section of episodes a couple months ago, I believe. Or a few months ago, it ended.
And Macchio lived in that finale.
Well, spoiler.
Yes. Okay.
Daniel's son is alive and well.
Okay. So then that makes me think that this has a good chance because it'll continue the same Cobra Kai universe. And the Jackie Chan movie was a hit. Doesn't look like there was any news out of CinemaCon, though, about the movie.
That is such a question mark because it absolutely could do great and make Bafa Bobo, or it could be one of those things that doesn't do well until it drops on Netflix.
Well, that's the thing about the Karate Kid series is when that Jackie Chan, Jaden Smith movie came out years ago, Karate Kid was a theatrical-only franchise. Now with Cobra Kai, you've got Karate Kid fans who think to themselves, I'll wait until this drops on YouTube Red.
Yeah.
Or Netflix. At this point. And so we'll see. We'll see if the Cobra Kai thing created more audience for Karate Kid or just trained the audience to see this as a Streamo property.
Yeah.
So we'll find out. But Jackie Chan was never in the YouTube or Netflix Cobra Kai show.
No, I believe not.
Okay. So he's the value add. He's what gets you to go to the movie theater.
Yeah, and he might do it.
So let's see. So the Lionsgate news, they showed off so many projects that'll probably never happen, but good for them. They've got Billy Ray, the screenwriter, is going to write a new Hunger Games prequel based on the book Sunrise on the Reaping. So will this have Rachel Zegler in it? She was the Song of Songbirds and Snakes and other stuff. Onions, whatever that movie was. It was a decent hit a year ago. And I don't know if that means her character continues through all of these other Lionsgate Hunger Games movies.
Is that a sequel to?
This is a upcoming prequel novel. But I think the movie that she was in was also a prequel to the Jennifer Lawrence Hunger Games, Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes.
Yeah.
So Sunrises. So this is that movie, Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, was set 64 years before the events of the original trilogy. Sunrise on the Reaping is set 24 years before that trio of Lawrence films. So I guess it's set 40 years after Zegler.
Good math. So she will most likely not be in it.
Well, unless they age her to be an old lady or a middle-aged lady.
Yeah, because
old lady for movies. Yeah. Either way, they're putting some shit on her face.
Yeah.
If she's in this movie, and most likely Rachel Zegler is not in this movie.
Is not in this movie.
And also I guess this will get made. Of the Lionsgate stuff that gets announced and never has a chance of getting made, this Hunger Games movie will probably get made.
Hunger Games is still a strong IP.
Yeah. So this is basically the announcement of a payday for screenwriter Billy Ray.
Yes.
I love that that's also part of CinemaCon, is just you get to announce this screenwriter is getting a big fat check. So good for him. There's a Stephen King movie
Long Walk.
The Long Walk. What do you know about this Long Walk? Because you're the comic book guy, you're the Cobra Kai guy, you're the Stephen King guy.
I'm not the Stephen, but I do read a lot, and I've read The Long Walk.
Okay.
It's a very good novella.
Okay.
And
guys who read often call them novellas.
Yeah. Well, that's for the real readers.
Yeah.
I was like, well, this guy, you don't know. So
he reads, he don't speak. That's
exactly.
the big issue with heavy readers.
Well, heavy readers speak wrong on purpose so we can figure each other out. So no, who's who.
Got it.
I was like, that's a book reader right there.
Got it. So this Long Walk, does this have monsters or killer clowns in it?
No, it doesn't, but I've always thought that it would make for a good adaptation if done correctly.
Oh, wow. So you've sort of noodled around an adaptation of this book.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm curious now to see if this gets made in the same way that you would have adapted it.
Yeah. I'd like sort of a Russ Myers take on it.
Okay.
I don't know if they're going to go that way.
Oh, you're thinking just...
Yeah,
some
all
big ones.
Female. Yeah.
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 It's a long walk, and then it's a heavy walk as well.
Yeah.
So
that was one take.
Yeah, it's definitely a take. So there's a lot of John Wick news that has come out of CinemaCon. I mean, the thing with Lionsgate is they've got their IP and they got to milk it for all it's worth.
Mm-hmm.
And John Wick is the big one. So the two things they talked about is a fifth movie, straight up fifth movie. Keanu Reeves, Chad Stahelski is directing. You never saw John Wick 4, right?
Refused to.
What was your weird moral stance on not seeing that movie? How did it offend you in some way?
Thank you for
belittling you?
Well, yeah, couching that in such derision because it really makes me confident to answer that question.
I'm sorry I couched it at all because it should have been just full upfront derision.
Like, what the F is your problem?
Yeah.
It became a video game to me.
Okay.
And I wasn't into the gleeful murder.
Yes.
Necessarily. I'll just say.
Got it.
But
leave it at that.
But huge box office,
Mm-hmm.
so that's fine with me.
440 million worldwide, Chapter 4. Franchises at over $1 billion. Of course, the first movie was gross so much lower than the other ones. That's a real Austin Powers situation, the John Wick movies, where the sequels just doubled the previous one.
But here's the thing, and this happened between the third and the fourth, is that the fourth one, its budget increased, and then the amount it made didn't increase enough.
But the fourth one was a huge hit.
It was huge, but also the budget increased. So I think if you can have a lower budget and still get the amount that you got with 4 and you got with 3, then you're talking about something.
Right.
They can't just keep inflating these budgets, and that's all across the board.
But you know what? Budgets are budgets. These movie theaters need huge hits. And so CinemaCon...
But one of these is bound to... I mean, 5 could be when people say, I don't care anymore.
Could be, but we haven't seen it yet, so you got to keep making them. People love these
Phil
movies.
Collins and say, I don't care anymore.
You got to keep making them. So there's a show... I mean, the thing about the John Wick stuff is... Lionsgate's milking it. There's TV shows. There's the ballerina spinoff,
which I have. I have that in the box office draft.
So you're betting on Wick. You got some skin in the game on this John Wick averse.
Well, I was betting on the spinoff just because it was a very low pick.
So they have a series, John Wick Under the High Table. But the fifth movie is the big one.
But he's not going to be in that TV series, is he?
I think John Wick will probably come through and wave.
Okay.
And in all of this stuff, like Ballerina, I think he sort of like rolls through, shoots a guy, waves, leaves.
Yeah, he rolls through, shoots 30 guys.
Yes.
But that's only
10 seconds of screen time.
10 seconds of screen time.
Yes. So... That's a real good for Lionsgate that they were able to lock down Keanu to be in another one of these because it seemed like he fully went into 4 assuming he's done after that, and they backed it up.
I mean, I hope he's getting he probably won't, but the equivalent of what Lionsgate would give, like how Marvel paid Robert Downey Jr. So basically, I know it's not going to be the same amount of money, but the equivalent. I hope the Brinks truck was big for this gentleman.
Yes.
And you know that all these stunt guys and gals are going to get new motorcycles.
Yes.
Rolexes or something. Or people are going to get their medical bills paid because Keanu Reeves is doing another movie. So this is good.
It's good. And Keanu Reeves didn't have to debase himself the way Robert Downey Jr. did when he came out to announce he's back in the Marvel-verse. Keanu didn't come out in a Halloween store, discount store, Dr. Doom costume in a Jesus Christ pose to announce he's back.
Yeah.
I don't even think Keanu was at CinemaCon. I think he maybe sent in an iPhone self-taped message saying, sure, I'll do it again. And then he went about his day.
Yeah.
So it's a much classier version of getting paid than what Downey is doing. But so yeah, that's the big Lionsgate stuff. There's a Now You See Me 4 in the works they announced today with Ruben Fleischer coming on to direct it again. The third one hasn't even come out yet.
No.
But they're that confident in it that they know they want Now You Can See Me 4.
I feel like those movies must have done really well downstream. I mean, they
do well.
They were good. I mean, they did well theatrically, but I just feel like they might do really well streaming.
Yeah. Well, I mean, these movies started coming out in what? Early 2010s was the first one? I'm looking up this franchise now.
Was it 2011 the first one?
So I think they also do well internationally is a big thing with the Now You See Me franchise. So I'm looking that up right now.
I mean, it might even be 2009.
2009. Let's see. So the first movie, 2013. The first movie opened to 30 million, got to 117 domestic, 340 worldwide. Second one opened to 65 million in 2016, got to 328 No, I'm sorry. The second one opened to 22.
Okay.
Only got to 65 total domestic, but got to 328 worldwide.
That's
so these are giant international plays.
I was going to say, if that opened at 65, it'd blow my mind.
Yeah. And then the next
my mind up.
Part 3 opens this November, and they announced the director of all of them, Ruben Fleischer, will direct the fourth one. So I guess that is what he will be directing next.
Yeah.
This movie. Yeah.
He wouldn't be directing anything in between that, because what would be the point?
What would be the point?
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, why direct a non-IP thing when you've got your IP franchise just sitting there and they want you to direct it?
Yeah.
So yeah, that'll be what Ruben Fleischer is doing next. And I mean, I guess the thing that would torpedo this is if Now You See Me opens in November and bombs. But I don't think it will. And internationally, why would it?
Yeah. I wonder. Yeah. I feel like that sort of movie, if it does 50 domestically, but then
does another 200 elsewhere.
That's great.
And look at Jesse Eisenberg. The picture of him at CinemaCon is just, he's doing the magician pose. You know, it's like you do that, and it's like something has disappeared or reappeared. He must love doing this.
He's game. I mean, this is a guy who Oscar nom.
Yup.
Now he has a franchise.
Yup.
He's producing. He's producing documentaries people were talking about. Did
you
see that documentary that's coming out, The Secret Mall Apartment?
No.
People who built an apartment in the mall. You're excited, right?
I am. I love that. Yeah.
You know what? He thought so too. So he helped produce this documentary.
Wow.
Yeah, so there you go. This guy's got his hands in so many different pots.
All the pies, all the pots.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited for, I can't say I'm excited for the Now You See Me franchise, the third and fourth movies.
I like the first two.
Okay.
I liked them fine. Lizzie Kaplan was in the second one.
Okay.
Woody Harrelson
is Daniel Radcliffe in all of these?
He was in the second one.
Okay. Is he like a quirky villain, I assume? Probably.
It's been so long. 2016.
Yeah.
I can't remember, but I think he played a antagonist. Yeah.
Okay.
He likes to do that sometimes. He likes to play the bad guy sometimes.
Right.
You know?
Right.
It's
Mix
like
it
fun.
up. Yeah.
Mix it up.
Mix it up. Yeah.
We all know he's a good guy, though. He ain't fooling anybody.
So the other announcements from Lionsgate, The Housemaid, first look of Sydney Sweeney and Amanda Seyfried movie. So they're
That's a big book.
The Housemaid's a big book. Did you read that book?
I did not.
Okay. Why not? Why not?
Didn't get around to it yet.
Okay.
Didn't get around to it yet.
But
so many books.
Guaranteed you will.
That might. It depends on what the tie-in cover is.
Okay. Now it's Amanda Seyfried and it's Sydney Sweeney on the movie tie-in cover.
I mean, yeah, I'm a
You're
fan
getting
of
that
her.
book. There you go. They could sell a lot of books. Yeah, they put those books in gas stations.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is going to be Sydney Sweeney. She had Anyone But You. She's got a lot of buzz right now because she might be dating
Glen Powell.
Glen Powell. He took her to his sister's wedding. They're doing the plot of their hit movie in real life.
This is amazing. This is what we need.
Yeah,
this is exactly what we need.
They
know what they're doing. Why is she could be with some bozo any time in her life.
Yes.
Right now, emerging star.
Yep.
Who is also like producing, like she's gonna, she's
Mogul.
doing the Margot Robbie. She's doing the thing. Be with Glen Powell.
Be with Glen Powell. It makes so much business sense, and you look great together. And I'm sure it's fun.
You got plenty of years to be with like a Grip or a Carpenter or some
I'll love it.
finance guy.
Right.
Yeah. You got so much time for that.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. You'll marry a finance guy eventually.
Yes.
It happens to all of us.
It happens to all of us.
But for now, just date Glen Powell.
Yes.
It's so much fun. And the one thing when I saw that story breaking, that Glen Powell took Sydney Sweeney to his sister's wedding,
thinking sequel?
I was thinking, I wish the sequel was coming out right now. I wish they had timed it. But I think right now is the part of the story where they're hinting at it, where people are talking, are they together? Are they together? And then by the time Anyone But You 2 comes out, we're like full on in every issue of Us Weekly, People Magazine is them on the cover.
Yeah.
Biggest relationship in Hollywood. So I hope they're planning it out.
Yeah.
But there was no announcement at CinemaCon of Anyone But You 2.
Okay.
So I wish that was happening.
You wish, yeah.
But so she's going to be in this movie with Amanda Seyfried, The Housemaid. So hopefully, listen, that's a Paul Feig movie, and he's directed hits. He has directed
Not in a
hits.
long time, my friend.
It's been a while.
And a Simple Plan 2. No, is that called a Simple Plan?
Yeah, Simple Plan 2.
Simple Plan 2.
Is that already streaming? Did that come and go already?
They were promoting it.
I feel that, yes, it must have, because
A Simple Favor.
A Simple Favor. Simple Plan, of course, Sam Raimi, Billy Bob Thornton. That should get a sequel.
And that's a great book, too.
That's a movie that should get a sequel.
Yes.
But Simple Favor 2, I think that came and went on streaming. I think it got swallowed up by the Blake Lively trial.
Yeah.
And no one actually watched that movie because they were all busy reading tweets for the trial. I think that movie has come and gone. I think right now that movie is sitting on our Netflix and we just have not watched it. Even though we saw Simple Favor 1 in theaters and liked it fine.
Okay, it's called Another
Simple Favor.
Another Simple Favor.
It's now streaming. I mean, this is great content live on air.
Is it now streaming?
You're going to tell us right now. And this is great content because live on air, we're going to find out whether or not this movie is already on Netflix.
No, it's will be released on May 1st.
Okay.
On Amazon Prime Video. So basically, it already came out and nobody watched it.
Got it.
Because it's on Amazon Prime.
So let's see some other news from CinemaCon. Jenna Ortega.
Jenna.
She was vamping, according to the title of this Deadline article. She was Jenna Ortega and The Weeknd were promoting their May 16th movie, Hurry Up Tomorrow, from director Trey Edward Schultz. So The Weeknd performed at CinemaCon, performed 2 songs at Caesars Coliseum. Jenna Ortega was there. Lionsgate motion picture chair Adam Fogelson was there to introduce. So he introduced Jenna Ortega, who then introduced The Weeknd, who's going by his Christian name, Abel Tesfaye. And that was a big performance. So they're betting a lot on this Hurry Up Tomorrow movie. Have you seen a trailer for this? Do you think that this movie can do anything in May at the box office? May 16th, Jenna Ortega and The Weeknd. What is she doing here? This is a potential...
It's Lionsgate, so that scares me.
It's very scary. Jenna Ortega going from Beetlejuice to then an A24 movie and a Lionsgate movie. Not what you ideally want out of your movie star.
That side of the bell curve. I don't know. It's hard. What do you do? What do you do as an actor in Hollywood now? I mean, I think if this is something that excited her, she thinks it's cool, then other people will think it's cool. I think the problem with Death of a Unicorn is it's not cool.
It's not cool. It's
and you could put a cool person in that movie, but it's not going to make it cool.
Yeah. I hope it catches on. The Weeknd, he's to me, he came out of the gate, acting wise in a great way. His cameo in Uncut Gems. And I was like, great. The Weeknd, he's got something. I love the way that he was used in that movie. Then he had the HBO Max show with Johnny Depp's daughter. What was that?
The Idol?
The Idol. Huge disaster. So now this is what I think swings one way or the other, whether he's going to have a viable acting career or not.
Mm-hmm.
Because he also co-wrote this movie. That's the other thing. He co-wrote The Idol and he co-wrote this movie.
Yeah, so we'll see.
We'll see. So yeah, I mean, you don't want Jenna Ortega to follow up Beetlejuice with 2 bombs in a row.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess it's a good sign that Lionsgate is sort of going all out with this movie. But what does that really mean for Lionsgate?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. So that seems to be the big news so far at CinemaCon. I think we'll have to maybe cover the rest of the news later in the week because the biggies are coming out the rest of the week. Warner Brothers, Universal, Disney still have their presentations to go.
Yeah.
Any prediction from you at this point? Do you think there's going to be a huge surprise from any of those studios later this week? What's your big, bold prediction for any of those 3?
Wow. So I'm trying to think what would be a huge Disney announcement. I mean, what do they got left?
Live action Frozen could be a thing.
That could be a thing. I mean, I think that gets you back in the princesses are viable.
What about
business.
What about a live action Mickey Mouse? Disney has never done live action Mickey Mouse.
But when you say live action Mickey Mouse,
just live action.
Live action as in Lilo and Stitch, in the sense that Mickey Mouse is animated technically, because Lilo and Stitch is live action, but it's just not a hand-drawn cartoon.
I'm saying human being playing Mickey Mouse in the real world in a big budget movie,
but in like a furry suit, sort of in an actual mascot. So makeup. Yeah, makeup, costuming, just or it's puppetry. Ooh.
Could that be something Disney goes all in on? Mickey Mouse, the live action movie, and announce that at CinemaCon, and you wheel this version of Mickey Mouse out onto the CinemaCon stage later in the week.
Well, I think if you're gonna do something like that, I think you have to compete with the Beatles movies, and you have 4 movies coming out at the same time on the same day. You got the Mickey, You got the Goofy.
Yes.
You got the Donald.
Donald is he's a big one.
And then you have the Pluto.
Oh,
the
okay.
dog.
Yeah.
And that's just from the angle of a dog.
Right. Each of them, you see the same story through each of their point of view.
Yeah, and one of them is just like halfway through is just eating food for like 30 minutes.
Right.
Just looking for and just like burying bones and stuff while the important stuff's going on.
I love that.
That's like an avant-garde. You get like Gus Van Sant to shoot it.
Yeah. I love that. I think that is a great possibility that's what Disney's signature announcement at CinemaCon is for live action Mickey Mouse character movies. And they are all either puppets or actors in heavy costuming and makeup.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. I think we're going to have to come back on the YouTube channel, cover this later in the week. So the other thing we wanted to touch on quickly is this latest breaking news on the Looney Tunes Warner Brothers Discovery, David Zaslav. So it's coming in fast and furious. So over the weekend, we heard the news that Warner Brothers on their lot is giving away the Looney Tunes building.
No. Giving it away. They're destroying it.
They're destroying it.
They're destroying. Now, again, people have pointed out this isn't the original Termite Terrace, where there was a lot of animation. That was at their old studio lot. That already got ripped down. This was the new home for the animators that were doing the Looney Tune cartoons, but it was from the 40s and 50s on.
Okay.
It still is a historical building.
Got it.
This still is essentially spiritually the place where Looney Tunes live and breathe and came from, right? It's a point of origin that's very important to the Looney Tunes as a property.
Okay.
And important to Warner Brothers because Warner Brothers for decades were synonymous with Looney Tunes. And now they're razzing it so that...
Just destroying the building.
Yeah. It's raising it.
Again, as someone who reads but never
Razzing
speaks,
it would be like...
making fun of it.
Yeah, making fun of it.
Yeah,
they're not
because the Razzie Awards are not about destroying physical property. That's not what they do. They're knocking it down. They're knocking it down. Yeah.
Okay, knocking it down to make more room for base camp. Sounds pretty militaristic to me. And so that they can shoot more of their HBO shows.
Well, HBO shows or their Max shows. I mean, because it's one thing if they were going to shoot, another season of Veep or whatever, a high quality show, but most likely
or White Lotus, where they're just where they've lowered the budget because Pimple Popper needs more money, and they're just shooting in a demolished lot.
Well, I was going to say,
a parking lot.
Or are they knocking down this Looney Tunes building to film more Dr. Pimple Popper? I mean, that's probably what David Zaslav is doing. Is he's destroying this historic Looney Tunes building?
He's selling the copper wiring. That's probably what he's doing. Yeah. I bet you he's selling the pipes. He's selling the wiring. They said they're knocking it down. I mean, they're probably stripping it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're stripping it for parts. And or they're asking Dr. Pimple Popper, it's like, this copper wiring, could you use this to pull pimples apart? And he's like, yeah, maybe. Yeah, leave me that copper wiring.
Yeah, sure I can.
There you go. This is one of your classic impersonations. Is your
Dr. Pimple Popper.
Dr. Pimple Popper, yeah.
Let me add it.
Squeeze, pop. Yeah. That's dead on. This is your George Bush Sr.
I just like it.
Yeah, this is your Bush Sr.
Yeah.
This is huge. So they're knocking down the Looney Tunes building. David Zaslav, he's basically kicking the Looney Tunes out of their home. What has been their home for decades.
Like over half a century.
Yeah. And just kicking them out of their home. It is a disgusting act.
Yeah.
It is a disgusting act.
It absolutely is a disgusting act. Here is this bozo.
Yeah.
Who is, came up in reality television.
Yeah.
The lowest sewer that you could ever wade in.
Yes.
And then he is destroying culture.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's trying to wipe culture off the face of the planet.
Yeah. And buildings that he's destroying buildings that are culture.
Yeah.
And
yes.
And doing it so that he could finance more pimple popping.
Yes. Yeah.
And thank God though, we do have saviors out there, and that savior is Ketchup Entertainment. Because it was announced since the last time we've been on air, we haven't covered this. Ketchup Entertainment has officially bought the rights to own and distribute the shelved Acme v. Coyote
versus Acme.
Coyote versus Acme Looney Tunes movie.
Mm-hmm.
Ketchup Entertainment owns it now.
Yes.
They bought it from David Zaslav. Saved it. Saved it because I do think if Ketchup Entertainment had not finally made this deal, I think Zaslav was going to put all of the files and all of the film canisters of that movie in the building before he blew it up.
Yeah, absolutely. So they're saving, and now, I mean, we talked about how Warner Brothers is trying to sell the Looney Tunes just wholesale.
Yeah,
and so I wonder if Ketchup has the capabilities to purchase these characters and to give them a safe home.
Yeah,
because Zaslav doesn't want those that group of people, that beautiful, diverse group of tunes, on his lot.
He wants to get he's forcing these tunes out of their home. He hates them.
He hates them.
He hates these
them. And
tunes.
he's showing that he hates them, and he's destroying their home.
Yeah,
and
it's a disgrace. It's a disgusting act.
It's this disgusting act. It's disgraceful, and I don't think it's getting covered enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's not. People are scared to call it what it is, but the BO Boys, we are not scared to say that David Zaslav is trying to kill every last Looney Tune that is in front of him.
Yeah.
To push them out of their homes so that he could replace them with Dr. Pimple Popper.
Yes. Yeah.
And that is what Zaslav is doing. So thank God there's Ketchup Entertainment. I think they're going to do it. I think they've bought now 2 Looney Tunes movies, saved them from the scrap heap, put them in theaters.
And they were happy. I mean, they said they were happy with what the day the planet, what is it? The day the planet blew up?
The day the Earth blew up.
They're happy with how it did.
Mm-hmm.
That's what made them buy this other movie.
Yeah.
And it's great to see that they have faith in these characters.
Yes.
You know, that somebody is sticking up for them and giving them safe harbor.
Yeah.
This is heartwarming.
Yeah. I would love to have the heads of Ketchup Entertainment on this show to shake their hands. I mean, obviously I'd love for them to speak and get a full episode of content out of it, and make some moolah off of their appearance.
Yeah.
But just to shake their hands and thank them for saving the Looney Tunes from David Zaslav.
And get them to do their best Bugs Bunny, their best...
Do the voice.
Porky, do the voice.
Just try it.
Try it.
Whatever.
I mean, we know you don't do that, but you should try.
It going wrong that's the fun itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be upset if they were really good at it.
Yeah, 100%.
If the
then I would say, why aren't you just voicing the goddamn cartoons yourself?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why are you some suit when you could have been Porky Pig's voice?
Right. But they won't be good at it, and that'll be what's fun.
That'll be what's funny.
Yeah. So I invite these Ketchup Entertainment execs, owners, whoever they are. Could be great people, could be monsters. We don't know. But what they're doing here is great.
Yes.
That they are saving the Looney Tunes. So hopefully they just outright buy the Looney Tunes soon.
Yeah.
Before Bugs has to see that building, his home, get blown up by David Zaslav.
Terrible. It's terrible.
Complete, and I'm going to say it right into camera, Zaslav, this piece of shit.
He is piece of shit for sure.
He is piece of shit.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I mean, could that be the Warner Brothers CinemaCon announcement is they just cut to video of the Looney Tunes building being blown up like it's the Seattle Kingdom.
Yeah. I mean, they might do that and then be like, no one's safe.
No one's safe.
That's what Zaslav just comes out and says.
Wow.
No one's safe.
Wow.
Or they already kicked Clint off the lot, didn't they? Didn't they? Is Clint's offices still there? Or are they going to blow those up with dynamite too?
Okay, here, this is, we got to wrap up soon, but I have to make this direct plea straight into camera, is that Clint Eastwood, if David Zaslav tells you, hey, buddy, forget the past, we got a brand new office for you. We got a new office for Clint Eastwood Productions, and you should come into the office tomorrow, plan out your next movie. We got to do it right, full theatrical release. Come into the office, plan your next Clint Eastwood film, and here's the address of the office. Go in there and just wait. Just wait all day. Don't do it, because I guarantee you this is David Zaslav tricking you, Clint Eastwood, into going into the Looney Tunes building so he could blow it up with you in it. Mm-hmm. Because he knows that as long as you, Clint Eastwood, are alive, you will be out there building sympathy against what he did. He wants to blow you up in the Looney Tunes building. Do not let David Zaslav trick you, Clint Eastwood, into going into the Looney Tunes building. You will get blown up. Mm-hmm. Do not do it. End of plea to Clint Eastwood.
Yes. Yeah. We don't want to see Clint Eastwood after the building's blown up and he's covered in blackened powder.
Right.
And his hair's sticking up and his eyes are crossed.
Right.
And then he just turns into ashes.
That's what would happen.
That's what would happen, and we don't want to see that. Clint Eastwood deserves better than that.
Yeah. Yeah, because he would survive the blast until he realizes that he had been in the blast, and then when he realizes that, he turns into a pile of ash.
Yes. Yes, do not, if he says, listen, we created this office, it's building 131.
Yeah.
In the far corner of the lot off of Forest Lawn Drive, don't go. Don't go.
Don't go.
Just don't go.
Don't go. Here's the other possibility. If Zaslav were to trick Clint Eastwood into taking an office in the Looney Tunes building, the explosion happens. Clint Eastwood, he's sitting at his desk planning his next movie. Building collapses around him. Then he realizes, oh, there's nothing underneath me. And until that point, he's just sitting in a chair up in the middle of the air. Then when he looks down, sees nothing beneath him. That's when he falls.
Yeah.
That's when he falls. And I do not want to see that happen.
No.
At CinemaCon on a live stream from Vegas. I do not want to see that happen.
Oh, what is that?
He would live stream it. He would
we have Clint in the building.
Mm-hmm.
And then they shoot to him, and then they're like, and then here's the demolition crew. Do you think he's that sick?
Yes.
And does he think that Clint is some sort of pimple that he can just pop?
Oh.
Because that's what he thinks about.
That's what he thinks. Everything's
just a pimple to be popped.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. To Zaslav, when life is an acne covered face, every problem is a pimple.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. That is. These are some very likely possibilities for the finale of CinemaCon. I just hope we do not see Clint Eastwood get blown up in the Looney Tunes building in a live stream from CinemaCon during the Warner Brothers presentation. But I think it's very likely.
But also I do think there might be the Batman 2 teaser.
Oh, wow. That would be cool.
I think that would be
really cool.
Yeah. That's a prediction.
Yeah. Okay. I could see that. I think that would be a great idea. We'll save it for our next podcast episode when we preview Minecraft. But a big thing to factor in, and we'll talk about this with Danny, is that there's going to be an extended Superman movie. What is it? Superman Legacy is
it called that?
It's Superman : something. The James Gunn Superman that comes out in July. There's going to be an extended look at that ahead of the Minecraft movie opening this weekend. So I think that's a nice bonus for this opening weekend of Minecraft. We'll talk about that with Danny So Warner Brothers has that going for it.
Just called Superman, Pat.
It's just called Superman, not Superman Legacy.
No.
Okay. It's not Superman Legends. It's Karate Kid Legends.
Yes.
Okay. So, and it's not the Superman Ultimatum. That was the Jason Bourne movie.
No, and it's not Superman Bloodlines because that is Final Destination.
Got it. Okay, so we'll talk about all that on the next episode. But I think we're going to have to do maybe another one of these YouTube web exclusives later in the week because so much news happening and the big studios are coming out the next few days.
Yeah.
And Jeff Bach must just be ODing on hype.
Oh, yeah. And then, we're going to have him back for our summer preview anyway.
Yeah.
And he's going to be so hyped up.
So hyped up. I can't wait. And I can't wait to see what merch he's bringing back for the BO Boys. So email us, theboboyspodcast@gmail.com. And I mean, listen, the main thing is you got to tune in to the YouTube channel because we are YouTubers. Hey, guys. And we're going to be doing more and more web-exclusive content for the YouTube channel. We love our YouTube viewers. Do we love them more than our podcast listeners? We'll see where the money is. We'll see where the money is. So you got a shot, YouTube viewers, to be the more loved part of our audience if the money is right.
All you got to do is watch this, share it.
Yeah, watch, share, like, comment, argue in the comments.
Yes. Just scream at each other.
It's huge. Don't say it. We don't want to hear it.
No.
But yell amongst yourselves.
Yeah, keep it among yourself. You can be so savage to each other.
Yeah.
But keep my name out of your fucking mouth.
Yes. So keep watching the YouTube channel. And man, that's all I got, Clayton.
Pat, I finished.
Great. Perfect.
And you've said it all.
Great.
There's nothing left to be said.
Oh, I could leave the YouTube.
Except for, until next time,
we'll smell you at the box office. Nailed it. Hey, guys.